Hello, I like to make today charmander cake, and I saw this image on internet, and saw on one website a little bit more explanation, which is thank you very much for that. And we try to just make and assemble this cake. So what we done is it will work with any size of round cake. I use the 25 centimeter, which is 9.8 inch in diameter, but you can easily use a standard 20 centimeter 8 inch. It just the cake will be a little bit smaller. It just depends how big patty do you want. If you want to have larger patty, you can even use a larger baking round baking tin. So what I done basically, I mix together two cake mixes, butter cake mixes. I use two boxes, so I mix together and I bake in one baking pan together. So we just make one large nice size cake. So now is basically once it's baked, cool down. If you like, you can even do this process day before and place your cooled cake in a clean wrap and place in the freezer overnight. It makes it easier for you to trim it and cut it. So basically now its key is to subdivide this cake properly to make sure we made a charmander cake from one cake. So what we done is, this is 25 centimeter, which is 9.8 inch in diameter, and measure 1/4 of the whole diameter, 1/4 from left and 1/4 from right. So we left on the middle 2/4, 1/4, 1/4, and here is 2/4. So you draw a line right when you done your quarters. So on left quarter we make front and back feet. Subdivide this on a half, so you can get about 10.5, and draw a line. Then make a mark middle of each half, just like this. So this is half of that, and draw a line. This is our middle, and here we draw a line. So we get two basically back and front feet. With the right side we have a draw simply tail, and in the middle we feed a head and a body. So I bring up a little bit closer, make sure you're able to have a look. So we have a head, body in the middle, and we have like two trapezes for the back feet and two leftovers for front and a tail. So now we cut it out. Our quarters, and the right one, cut it on half, and again. So from this we get two back legs and two front legs. From here we cut out small size to make a tail. This is tail, and now we cut out two circles for head and body. So once we trim it, as you can see, we have it a body, which is I still basically left head and a body attached because it doesn't matter. And this is our tail and this is our leg. So what we do, we arrange now. So these two sides become simply front legs, and then these two look like trapezoid sort of sides become the back legs. We just twist them around, place them like this, and this is our tail. So bring up a little bit closer, make sure you're able to have a look on all the pieces we place together for tail and legs. And now what we do is we simply all round up with knife to make sure they fit perfectly well into the shape of charmander. So after trimming all our pieces, as you can see, we round up a body of charmander, we round up on edges of head charmander, as well as make it little curve here. We wanted that head will be taller than actually neck, so make it a little curve between head body to make it neck. So, and in front we want to make a little bit look like a snout sort of. So just shave it a little bit off with your knife to make a little bit more look like a snout. With legs, take off a little bit of top to make it more rounder, as well as when you do it, as you can see, we want it attached nice and tight. So what we done is we just simply round up the part which is attached to the body to make sure it goes nicely and smoothly, looks like it's being there all the time. So something we do with back legs, just shape it up, round up to make sure they nicely set and fall. We round up all inside parts, make sure they fall into body shape of charmander. Something we done with tail. As you can see, we round up both sides of tail and make in the part which is attached to the body will round as well too. So what we do it now, we will place on a cake board and frost all over. So we just move this a little bit further, take our cake board, I just use normal square one, and use buttercream or frosting. So place some amount just right in the middle because this will be for the body, and we take our body and we place right here. Just check it out when you place it, make sure your tail still able to attach. So that's all good. And what we do is now we simply frost all over, attaching all the parts of charmander legs and tail, just like this. Attach them all nicely, add more frosting if you need to do so, and just keep going until you frost the entire cake. Once you attach all pieces, legs and tail and everything, nicely frost. If your cake doesn't rise as much, do not worry. Use your trimmings to a little bit rise areas where you want to be them a little bit more larger. Like for example, back of a charmander or head. Just place small pieces of your cuttings and frost all over. And also, you can use also frosting to just a little bit bump up some areas. So anywhere where you want high, just place a little bit more frosting and simply round up. So once we're done all that, that's how charmander look like. Now what we do is next, we place for about 20 to 25 minutes into refrigerator to make sure just all our cake is set nicely before we apply fondant. So once our frosting is settled and become a little bit harder, so it's easier to manage. Everything stays in a shape. So what we have is, we have here plain, what I done with a fondant, I use plain white fondant, and I simply tinted with orange gel food coloring. This is particular Americolor brand. You can use Wilton as well. Use gel food coloring because it's much concentrated and you don't need that much. So what you do is, or if you're able to find already orange color fondant, just simply use those. So once we've done all that, knead your fondant until it's soft and manageable. Then roll out into shape larger than your cake. And what we do is we transfer on top of our cake. I will just simply, well, in other cases, so when you transfer, pack a little bit loosely. Make sure you're able to shape your cake. Not too tight, so we just simply place right around it, nice and loose. And now we start bring up our shape together. Just place it, push it from outside, make sure you have plenty of fondant to work with. And slowly bring up to shape. Form the tail. Use your hands and powder it with icing sugar to make sure it does not stick to fondant. So we're just shaping up some back legs, and we're going for the front ones. Shaping up front legs. We don't want to damage any structure, so we're just nice and careful. We're just pushing fondant to the cake. Simply like that. And shape it up. Make sure back nice and round. Shape up some neck. Once you have what you done, what you do is trim it fondant further for start to make sure you're not making any mistakes. And then once it's bring up right to the cake, what you do is trim it closely. And here just leave a little bit more because we actually will shape some front feet. Once you shape it into a cake, what you do is use a skewer and just run skewer to make indentions for the front legs, back legs, a little bit of tail and a neck. So as you can see, we left some of fondant orange in the front, so simply shape it with knife, cut it out 5 little, sort of look like a toes, sort of charmander, and just simply squash them a little bit, each one, to make them look like charmander feet. Charmander body underneath, it's a little bit yellow, so use small yellow, whatever how much body you have left on the left and right, and also part of a tail too, just a small strip attached with a little bit of water. So what we do is take small strip. I done it here, but I didn't done it here, so I needed a very tiny strip because it's only a little bit left. So we just brush small amount of water and attach this little strip right underneath. Simple like that, just like we done it here. It's very small piece, but it makes details nice. So we have it yellow here on left, right side, and a little bit strip on the tail. Just a place as much as far as you can see and attach with water. Now for the back legs, we need to make 3 sort of like a little claws. So what we do is we just take small ball of white fondant, roll it and form to one side, look like a more like a cone. That's how we get the little kind of for charmander back legs. So what we do is place small amount of water, just a little bit, and attach with slightly pushing in just to make it nice indentation as well. So we attach second one and the third. We'll probably place third one first because it's closest. And I simply arrange them orderly as you want them to be. Slightly pressed in, and it looks like a little claws of a back feet. So once it's all done here, what we do is next we will make some eyes and couple little teeth. Also, before we do that, as you can see, this is we made before charmander snout. So make it tiny bit, just to bring a little bit here, to make it little tiny snout, to make it this detail is really, really nice. If you like it's more rounded, take a knife and just carefully place all fondant under to make it nice and neat. Now we can make eyes of charmander. What we do is cut it out from white fondant, piece of white fondant, just like that, like a charmander eye, simply, and it's straight on the bottom and rounded on top. Check it out, make sure it fits perfectly on the cake size. And what we do is we cut out exactly same size of a blue fondant, because we will overlap them each other. So place white fondant right on top and apply small amount of water to attach blue fondant and place in position. So it's kind of overlap a little bit. As you can see, we place on top of each other and we can see this white part seam. We can see it still. So have a look where we will place our eyes and just brush small amount of water to attach eye. It's kind of almost on the side, so press it on, make sure it falls into position. Fiddle a little bit. And place it on. Once it's done, what we do is we have small piece of black fondant, make it little round ball and squashed in into a more oval shape. So what we do is we just place it right up here for the pupil and I place in position. Then we have it white fondant, very small piece, have it little ball, squash it into oval shape, and we will place right on top of a black fondant and slightly squash it in to make it a little bit more interesting. Now take your the skewer and simply make look like it's some sort of indentions of the charmander and run right on the bottom like that for the mouth. Make two small indentions for nostrils and attach teeth. Make them small triangle from a white fondant and simply attach right here. For the tooth. Place in position help with a knife or skewer. Then what we do is, charmander has a little tiny fire on the end of tail, so I use a simple string used on the kitchen to tie up various foods, like when you're roasting chicken or lamb or something. And this is specially kind of designed for the cooking type of. Also, you can use a candle too. So what we do is, right on the end of tail, we'll make it sort of insertion, and we place the string or candle right inside. So have it on end, it's look like a real charmander. So when you actually place fire, it will be actually fire on the end of tail. So as you can see here, our charmander cake, and you can of course vary it. You can make it your own, a little bit more shape of eyes, and just make a little bit more different. But you can see here little teeth and mouth indentation for the nose, and have sort of like a eyebrow sort of on top as well, eyes. And with legs, very simple, we just cut out with knife and attach for back ones the white fondant, and attach small piece of a yellow fondant on the bottom of tail. And here, as I said, you can place candle or one of those strings used in the kitchen for the fire of end of tail. Thank you very much for your time with me today. I hope you like this creation of charmander cake. If you have any questions, please do ask and write. Thank you for your time. Everything will be in the description box. I'll try to explain as much as I can. Thank you. Bye bye.